Hello everyone, good morning, good morning, good morning. Welcome back to my channel, Accounting for Real. In the kitchen with Accounting for Real. So I want to say thanks for being here, thanks for viewing my channel. And this morning, I want to, I'm cooking a little breakfast right now before I start my lesson. So um, these are the things that I'm going to cook me a little oatmeal, Quaker oats, healthy for you. And I have some scrambled eggs. I'm gonna make some scrambled eggs and mix it with some cheese. This is a Taco Bell salsa verde, but this is I think it's 3 different cheeses. And then I have me some fat-free cottage cheese. Fat-free cottage cheese with pineapples that take, and I'm gonna mix it with my too good. It says 2 grams of sugar, so I'm gonna mix that with my with this my cottage cheese. I'm gonna mix that with that, and then I want to add some coconut flakes, sweetened coconut flakes to my yogurt. So right over here, I have my water boiling for my oatmeal. So what I do, I have my water boiling for my oatmeal. I just put a little, pinch of salt, a pinch of this Morton salt. And then what I do, I just put a little bit in there, just a little bit. It's enough for me, just enough for just a little bit, just enough for one serving, because no one's eating but me right now. So what I do, I let my turn it down so it won't cook so. So when I you can't see that, but I'll wait till it cook a little bit. So this is oatmeal. Let it cook. So now this oatmeal is not the 3-minute oatmeal. So this oatmeal may take a little longer. This oatmeal may take usually take probably about 10 minutes to cook. So what I want to do while the oatmeal is cooking, I'm going to start my little lesson. I'm going to start my little counting lesson. So let's get started. Okay. Okay, first I want to talk about this is my channel is accounting, so I guess it's more than appropriate for me to talk about accounting in all my classes, my tutorials. Okay, first, in other words, I have a business. I have it doesn't necessarily have to be an accounting firm, but I have a business. Cheryl's I'm running a hair and nail salon. Cheryl's Hair and Nail Salon LLC. As always, I want to be an LLC, so limited liability company. So I have protection just in case someone tries to sue me. In other words, hair, nails. Somebody come in and they say, well, Cheryl, or one of your employees, or you as the owner, I came in your business last month and you messed my nails up. You did my nails, you did my hair, and hair and nails. So you messed my nails up, and I got a lawyer. I want to sue you. So that's why it's important to have an LLC. Now, I had an LLC previously, but I wasn't ready at the time because I felt that it was going to be costing me too much money, and because I had Legal Zoom, they were um, uh, um, they was going to do a LLC for me through their law firm, so they were charging it was 600 and something for that, and then you still had to have a operating license for your business, and you still had to have other licenses. Then you had to go to the health department. Then you had to have an occupancy permit. So 9 times out of 10, if you didn't have your business location, you had your location at home where you were going to run your business, they would have to come in. And it depends on if you're mixing products. I guess if you're dealing with hair products that you're mixing, you making cakes and cupcakes and stuff like that. So in other words, that's why a lot of times people run those type of businesses. They usually have like their own kitchen. They only have their own. They have their own. They usually have their own. Not their own kitchen, but they may rent it. They can have their own kitchen, or they may rent uh, someone else's kitchen where they can do their business, and not in their home. But sometimes people do have home businesses, but sometimes they dealing with like retail, dealing clothing lines, t-shirts and stuff like that. But some people may do, in other words, you have a cake you making cakes, you have a cake making business, or you have a cupcake making business. But still, at the same time, any type of business that you run, you will need an accounting department. 9 times out of 10, you have to keep a track of your accounts receivables, your accounts payables, in other words, your cash flows, statement of income, your income statement, your statement of owner's equity, your statement of your balance sheet, your statement of cash flows. So 9 times out of 10, whatever business you're running, you still have to keep account of your revenues, your expenses, which goes on the income statement, your balance sheet, assets minus liabilities equals owner's equity. So whatever business you're running, you have to have those statements. So, I mean, it will be good to have. If you have a small company, you might not feel that you want to, but it's still good to put those, keep your figures down on paper, because you have to, when it comes time to do your taxes, you don't want to be audited because you messed up on your paperwork. So, first thing I just wanted to touch base on is, in other words, I want to just run down the things when you're running a business. In other words, you're running a business. You have you're running a business. We check my oatmeal. Okay, it's cooking down, but I'm gonna turn it down. I don't know. So in other words, you're running a business. You have your business name. You have your niche. You have your target market. You have your location. You're gonna be online. You have an online presence, or you want to have a storefront, or you want to have both. Then you want to concentrate on building your brand. You're building your brand. You're building the trust in the neighborhood. You're building trust. You're building your trust up with your customers, your suppliers, your manufacturers, your consumers. You're building a trust within those communities. So after that, in other words, you're building your brand. You have your personal brand as well. You want to be a nice, ethical, morally sound person that does build business. So your personal brand is important too, as well as your business and your company brand. So once you do that, you're building your brand. And as I said in my previous video, building, you want to build a nice, strong, effective, and efficient accounting information system. So you might need more than one system. Accounting information systems, make it plural. So in other words, in your accounting information system, and all your systems across your business and your businesses, make it plural. You want to, in other words, you want to analyze. In other words, when you analyze your information systems, you want to know what do I need? What do I need an accounting information system for? What do I need it for? Why do I need it? How am I going to use it? What information do I need to gather to to obtain to what information do I need to obtain to analyze this information systems that I need for my organization? So you want to analyze, you want to survey, then you want to design, and then after you design your information system, and then you want to implement. So once you implement, you have already laid out your design. You survey, you analyze, you survey, you design, and you implement it. So when you analyze, that means that you already know what you need your information systems for, why you need it, how you're going to set it up, or who you're going to hire to implement this accounting information system. So, so how are you going to implement? So in other words, to implement this accounting information system. So in other words, you definitely will need um, in your networking environment while you're building your accounting information systems, so you can bring in that information. So you might say, what do I need an accounting information system for? You need an accounting information system just like you need an information system for any other business that you may be running. It doesn't have to be an accounting firm. Any business that you run, you need an accounting information system because you want to keep a track of your, like I said, your accounts payables, your accounts receivables, your revenues, your cash flows, your statement of cash flows, your income statements, your balance sheets. You need to keep a track of all revenues and expenses coming in and out, all money, all funding, all. I mean, whatever you had gotten a loan from the bank or the credit union. All that information need to be kept. You need to keep a track of all that information. So I just want to touch base on, in other words, you're building an accounting information system. That accounting information system will bring in the much needed information you need to run your day-to-day operations. I need information for this. I need information for that. Say, for instance, we want to put another, what you call a branch. We want to put another branch, or we want to put another wing on our corporation or one of our buildings. We want to put another wing. We need a loan. We might want to deal with the credit union. We might want to deal with the banks. So they are going to need information from us. So that's why we want to be able to account for our information. That's why it is very important to have a effective and efficient accounting information system. Then you have to hire the right people that can work on these networks that you set up. So in other words, then another thing I want to talk about is in building accounting information systems, do we want to do a wireless information system, or do we want to do a wired? So wireless networking. So in other words, wireless technologies continue to play an increasing role in all kinds of networks. The wireless components wireless components of most LANs behave like their wired counterparts, except for the media and the related hardware involved. Put my glasses on. The operational principles are much the same. It's still necessary to attach a network interface of some kind to a computer, but the interface attaches to an antenna and emitter rather than a cable. And then also, when you want to figure out whether or not you want to go wireless, you want to figure out whether you want to go wireless. Let my oatmeal simmer a little bit. So you want to figure out if you want to go wireless or wired. So once you figure that out, then you have to figure out if you're going wireless. If you're going wired, then you want to see if you want to use twisted pair. You have a choice of twisted pair, fiber optic, or shielded twisted pair, or coaxial cable. So in other words, a twisted pair cable that consists of insulated strands of copper wire twisted around one another. These twists allow for improving the resistance to interference. So in other words, those twisted pairs, it allows for no or even less interference. So in other words, when you're running the network and you know you have a lot of work to be done, you have to get that work out. You have work that has to be out at a certain time. You want a timeline for some things. And then you have your employees that's working. You don't want to have no interference, because any interference in your network setup could shut your whole network down. And then that'd be lost money, lost production, paperwork. Paperwork may not be able to get out. You may not be able to get your paperwork out on time because your network was down. A lot of times when you hear companies say, "Oh, the network is down. I can't get nothing done." So I experienced that a lot of times when you call and you try to get information, or you have business to take care of, or some companies that you may call, and they're like, "Look, I can't even access your information because our network is down." So it's very important for companies to have top flight networking cables. So that is the twisted pair cable. So twisted pair are insulated strands of copper wire twisted around one another. These twists allow for improving the resistance of interference, while also limiting the influence of signals traveling on one wire over another. That's the twisted pair. Then also you have the unshielded twisted pair. Insulated wires within an enclosing insulating shield. And shielded twisted pair, which encloses each pair of wires within the foil shield, as well as within an enclosing insulating shield. So this right here, that's what they call a twisted pair. So in other words, you have somebody that's working in that department. So I'm just touching base on the types of cables that you can have. In other words, these are the type of cables that you can have when you're running when you set up your network. So you set up your network for your accounting information systems. You want to make sure that it also depends on the size of your building, the size of your employees. What type of network do you need? Do you need enough wires and cables and set up, in other words, if you have a LAN, you have a local area network, how large is your space? You have 4 or 5 buildings, how large is your space? So you have a local area network, or you have a wide area network. So in other words, I said you have a twisted pair. We have the twisted pair. Then also we have the fiber optic. So fiber optic cable. So fiber optic, a lot of companies like Comcast, Verizon, and I believe they use the fiber optic. So fiber optic cable trades electrical pulses for their optical equivalents, which are pulses of light, because no electrical signals ever pass through the cable. Fiber optic media is as immune to interference as any medium can get. See, fiber optic it seems like it's more reliable. It's immune to interference. So I just read the twisted pair cable. So in other words, fiber optic seems like it's a little bit better to use. Fiber optic cables are highly secure because they emit no external signals that might be detected, unlike any electrical or broadcast medium would do, thereby eliminating the possibility of electronic eavesdropping. So in other words, companies, you need something like this fiber optic because you don't have to worry about interference, somebody eavesdropping on your conversation, hackers getting in the network. Well, a lot of times they find a way to get in anyway, no matter how much security you have. You have your fiber optic, your coaxial cable, your twisted cable. Uh, so sometimes hackers find a way to get in. We have your shielded twisted pair. Includes shielding to reduce crosstalk as well as to limit the effects of external interference for most STP cables. This means that the wiring includes a wire barred inside the cladding or shield material as well as a foil wrap around each individual wire pair. So in other words, shielded twisted pair, they're trying to make it more secure by wrapping it with more uh, more shielding. So it says include shielding to reduce crosstalk. So crosstalk, so in other words, you're talking and all of a sudden you start hearing other people talking on while you on the network, other people talking. And you're like, so shielded twisted pair. So that's the shielded twisted pair. I'm just touching base on a few of these. So we had a shielded twisted pair, and then as I said, this is the fiber optic. Fiber optic. And coaxial cable, relatively inexpensive and reasonably easy to install. Coaxial cable was the network choice for many years. Coaxial cable consists of a single conductor at the core, surrounded by an insulating layer of braided metal shielding and an outer cover, the sheath or wrapper. Shielding refers to any protective layers wrapped around a cable. So protective layers wrapped around a cable. In other words, uh, try to shield your network from somebody eavesdropping on your network or hackers getting in. See, it said refers to any protective layers wrapped around the cable used to protect the cable from external interference. Shielding increases viability of signals that pass through. In other words, you want the signals to be able to pass through, so coaxial cable. It said a cable by absorbing a stray electronic signals or fields so that they do not impinge on the data that the conductor within the cable itself must carry. Coaxial cable is less susceptible to interference and attenuation, though twisted pair cabling, but more so than fiber optic cable. This is due in part to the beneficial influence of coax cable shielding, which absorbs environmental interference and diminishes its impact on coax cable's ability to transport information. So it seems like to me the coaxial cable may be a best route to go because it has that shielding. It has that shielding because it says the shielding refers to any protective layers wrapped around the cable. So in other words, this coaxial cable has protective shielding wrapped around the cable. So it seems to me like the coaxial cable and maybe the fiber optics. So those are the security items. So as I said, you have these. You are building an information system. You are building an accounting information system. In other words, my company Cheryl Hair and Nails, and I'm building an accounting information system. So I'm trying to while I'm building my system, so I need an accounting information system a system to build. I'm gonna make it singular. I need an accounting information system to build. Uh, ensure that I'm bringing in the proper information to my organization, my corporation, where I'm running my business. I need information from various sources, various outside sources. I have banks, I have credit unions, I have the IRS, I have the SEC that I'm dealing with. I have government regulations that I have to deal with. I have my customers, my manufacturers. So when I'm building my accounting information systems, as I said, I want to see is do I go wireless or do I go wireless or do I go wired? So then what cables do I use? This is a coaxial cable. I have, as I said, coaxial cable, twisted pair, fiber optic. Uh, so which one do I use? So then once I figure out that, and then you can't build an accounting information system without having security. So I'll get to the security in a minute. So let's get down to the security in a minute. These are the clean papers. So in other words, you building an information, and you building an accounting information system. You have, like I said, what wire do I use? Am I going to have a wireless or a wired network? And what wire, if I do, what wires do I have to use? Or what should I use? What wires will keep the hackers out, to keep the eavesdropping out, to keep crosstalk out, could keep a lot of crosstalk out, because I don't want my employees to be taking care of business and they're in their booth and then they hear a lot of crosstalk, because crosstalk could come from hackers or come from companies. Employees from other companies can be eavesdropping on your conversation. So security is very important. So you have an accounting information system, bringing in that vital information. You keeping track of, not a track. But keeping track of your competitors in the market. You want to benchmark. You need accounting information. You need an accounting information system so you can benchmark, see what your competitors are doing. You want to keep up with the trends in the market. Your competitors, very important. Your customers, your consumers, your employees. You might want to do some research on your employees. Find out what they're doing outside of the job, outside of your job, the employment. So are they uh, honest, ethical, withstanding employees? So you never know what type of information that you may need to come that bringing into your organization. So in other words, you're running a business. Cheryl's Hair and Nails. I have a storefront. I have the proper licenses. I have my niche. I segmented my market. I'm gonna target 3 different groups. 20-year-olds to 40-year-olds. I'm gonna target college students. I'm gonna target elderly. I want to target senior citizens. I want to target heavyset. I want to target slim people. Whoever you want to target, that would be a target market. So in other words, then you want a brand. You have your brand. You want to build your brand. You want to build that trust. You want to build that. You want to build the trust in your product and in your services and in your personal brand, your company brand, your personal brand. I want to be selling a product. I want to offer a service. I want to build up my personal brand as well, because I want my customers to see that I'm an ethical person, honest, and trusting. And also, you want to build up your company brand as well as your personal brand. Then, as I say, the quality product or service. Then you want to build your inventory. I want to build my inventory, my supplies, my employees. I want to hire ethical, honest, trustworthy employees, because those employees are a part of my brand as well. Because you don't want customers coming in and then you have employees working for you that's bringing your brand down. Because they're gonna be like, I don't want to go in there and work for that. I mean, I don't want to go in there and shop with them, because every time I go in there, the employees are nasty, and I don't want to shop in there, because that those people that she have working for her, they are bringing out her brand. So I already talked about I talked about in other words, you're building an information system. I have everything I need. I have, my niche, my storefront, my licenses, all the licenses that I need. I have a quality product. I have my target market. I'm gonna segment my market to three different groups of people. I have my inventory, my supplies. I have my employees. They're honest, ethical, trustworthy. They increase my brand. They don't decrease my brand. They increase my brand. So we have that. Then I said when I'm building my information system, um, I have to have I'm pulling in that information. I'm bringing that information in my corporation or my organization that I need. I need that to build a future for my company. What information do I need? And then while I am building that information system, uh, am I going to make it wireless or wired? I mean, an information system can be a pen and paper. That's a system that's still giving you information. Or you can use technology, information technology. That's where they get the term from. Information technology. I can use computers, mainframes, supercomputers, mini computers, microcomputers, just to get my information. So do I want to use coaxial cable, fiber optic cable, or what type of cables do I want to use? So in other words, what cable I decide to use, that depends on my needs. So basically, that also will depend on my needs. How fast must my network be, and how much money can am I able to spend on cabling? So in other words, these are the things, and these are the questions that you could ask. So this is what you need in accounting information system for. How fast must my network be? I mean, how many employees do I have? How large is my space? How many buildings do I need to run my cables through? Uh, do I have 5 or 6 office buildings? What's my capacity as far as my space and when I'm running my business on my day to day operations. So those are the things that I would have to ask myself. Uh, yeah, so those are the things that I definitely would have to ask. Yep, those are the things I have to ask myself. So, in other words, when you're setting up your accounting information system, uh, and you want to just, what type of cables do I want to use? What type of cable? Which cables are more cost effective? Which cables will allow less eavesdropping, less chance of hackers getting in, and because the hackers get in and get your personal information, they can get the personal information of you and all your employees, even your manufacturers, your customers, whoever information that you have on your information system and your systems, because it's going to be plural, because you have information systems throughout your organization or your corporation. So, and information on those systems will be susceptible to hackers getting in. So it says cable selection criteria. So a cable selection criteria. So cable selection criteria, your bandwidth. How fast must the network be? Higher bandwidth means more expensive cable and higher installation costs. The higher the bandwidth requirements, the more likely it is you'll use a less flexible, more heavily shielded, if not fiber optic, cable. What is your budget? How much money do you spend on cabling? Can the network be deployed piecemeal? Sometimes budget alone is enough to dictate a choice. Since all the cabling types have been ranked by expense, it should be easy to tell what the budget may dictate. So how much money can you spend on cabling? So what's in your budget? You have enough money to spend on cabling because you don't, depending on, like I said previously, the space that you're gonna need this cabling, the capacity, how large are your buildings? But you still don't want to get wiring that is going to be a waste of money. In other words, you you try to be too cheap to yourself and know you had the money, but you get the cheapest wires because the cheaper coaxial cable or the cheapest network wiring because you're trying to save money. But then next thing you know, you experience a lot of eavesdropping, a lot of hackers. They getting all in your hacking into your network. So, and then it says capacity. How much traffic must the network carry? How will the traffic flow? Planning a network layout to insulate light to moderate users from heavy users is generally a good idea. Such considerations can also affect cable choices and equipment requirements. Then you have environmental considerations. How noisy is the how noisy is the deployment environment? How important is data security? So in other words, how noisy is your environment? How important is security to you? What type of information are you trying to shield? You have vital, important, secretive information that you don't want everybody to get a hold of. And then it doesn't have to be real. I mean, that's a big difference, because if you have real top security information, you have to make sure that it's secure because you don't want that information getting out. Placement. Where will the cables run? How tight are the spaces? Requirements for cable flexibility. Access routing also weigh heavily on cable selection, particularly where tight spaces or avoiding obstacles becomes necessary. The higher the need for sharp bends or high flexibility, the more likely a selection of thin wire, Ethernet, or TB cable becomes. So placement, where will the cables run? How tight are the spaces? So in other words, where will the cables run? How tight are the spaces? You don't want to have wiring in a tight space and then come to find out that your network is not running and it's not working right because you have everything all bunched up and you didn't have sufficient space to run those type of cables. How many devices must be connected to the network? So in other words, how many devices are you going to have? 50 computers, 1,000 computers, 1,000 printers. So how many devices are going to be? You have fax machines, printers, and it says how many devices must be connected to the network. By itself, this can sometimes dictate cable selection, but when the number gets over 50 to 100, this generally means that multi-segment networks become necessary. For single-segment networks, you need to weigh the ability to attach more devices to thick wire against its higher cost. How many devices must be connected? So in other words, you might have to run more than one network. Depends on how many connections you have on one network. So depends on how many connections. Because it says how many devices must be connected to the network. By itself, this can sometimes dictate cable selection. Right. So in other words, this can dictate cable selection. So depending on how many computers or electronic devices or whatever, computers, printers, fax machines, depends on how many, depending on how many these devices you have connected to the network, it dictates the cable selection. So in other words, you have to select a cable that's more appropriate for your business, the type of business you're running. As I said, how many devices you have connected to the network. That has a lot to do with your cable selection. So 9 times out of 10, you'll have somebody, that's dealing with this department. So I'm not a networking expert. I took this course right here. I took this course right here down Australia University. It's Networking Essentials. So I took this course down Australia University, but this is a good book right here. So I just thought I'll put this on my channel. So I have so many books that I'm going to be bringing forward. There's a lot of stuff that I'm reviewing and I'm bringing forward that I learned. I think there's one more. Then another one called span. What kind of distance does a network need to span? So in other words, how large is your network? Does it span over 4 or 5 buildings or just one building? What's the capacity of your building, your space that you want to set your network up? I need this accounting information system, and I need it in a month time. I need to find out, am I going to use a wireless network? Am I going to use a wired or wireless? 9 times out of 10, what I heard is that we always thought that a wireless network was fully wireless, but a wireless network, 9 times out of 10, is not fully wireless. It's usually a little of both. It says, what kind of distance does the network need to span? Longer spans need more expensive, higher bandwidth cables, if not more exotic options, covered later in this chapter under the heading Wireless Extended LAN Technologies. Strategic placement of small hubs for use with TB wiring interlinked by either fiber or coax cable gives TP surprising reach in many office environments. See, it says strategic placement of small hubs for use with TP wiring. In other words, small hubs interlinked by either fiber or coax cable. Coax cable gives TP surprising reach in many office environments, where workers tend to cluster in groups, even if individual groups are widely scattered. So in other words, you have the hub. They have the hub 9 times out of 10. It's going to be a closet where they just have nothing but your hub. You know, you have your hubs and all your wires, and your wires and your hubs will be connected either wirelessly or wired to your network. So 9 times out of 10, you'll have somebody. I mean, you know, big corporations and organizations, they have, they have their technology people, their network administrators, or their network, professionals to do, deal with this type of. But I was just going over a few. I'm not a networking specialist, but I took just this one course right here. I took so that's that. In other words, yes, that's that book right there, Networking Essentials. So I just wanted to touch base on a little bit of that. So in other words, I have my information systems. I have my information systems being set up, and I want to be able to bring in that information. I need information. I need my accounting information systems. I need my accounting information system to be accurate. I need my system to be strong, accurate, efficient, and effective. I want to put in my this is coaxial cable. I need to have my technology person, my networking professional, come in my organization and build my information, my accounting information system. Unless I have somebody that's in my organization. So I think that was that for that. Also, and then as I said, so I said when you're building an accounting information system, you want to analyze, survey, design, then implement. So once you design, then 9 times out of 10, you have a different person responsible for designing it, analyzing it, surveying it, designing it, and then implement it. And as I said, you want it wireless or wired. So, and also, I talked about this in my other video. In other words, you have your microcomputers, your mini computers, and your mainframe computers. So, what type of computer systems do you need? Or are you going to be running? So, what type of computer system? So, I think that's it. That was a whole lesson, class. I think the last one I'll talk about is. Oh, I have a few more to talk about, but let me go over here and do my oatmeal. Okay. And water to my oatmeal. Okay. Okay, my oatmeal. Okay. my oatmeal. What I have here, I have you put a little bit of vanilla in my oatmeal. A little bit of vanilla. Then I also have me a little bit of little cinnamon. So what I do, my oatmeal is cooking. I just put me a little bit of vanilla in there. I let my oatmeal cook down a little bit, and a little bit of cinnamon. A little bit cinnamon. And then sometimes what I do put a little bit of sugar in my, little bit of sugar. A little bit of sugar. And this is my oatmeal. Once it cook down, let that cook down a little bit. And then so and then I have just a little bit of margarine. What I do, I cook my eggs. Well, probably something like this. Just a little bit. So just a little bit. So I butter my pan a little bit so let it get hot before I put my eggs in. So what I do, crack my 2 eggs, put them in. So I have my eggs in a pan. Put a little salt in there. Sometimes I use a little bit of this too. Seasoned salt for my eggs so they can, just a little bit. And shake the eggs up. This is my oatmeal. Oatmeal with a little cinnamon. Hit the floor. Hit the floor. Let that cook down. So when I'm cooking my eggs, I like them either fried or I like them scrambled. Egg. I gotta finish. What I do, So, see, my eggs are just about done. Turn that down low. And then my oatmeal. So then what I do, also I have my, I ain't put my cheese in my eggs. Sometimes I can put a little bit of cheese in my eggs. Just a little bit. Cheese smells divine. So also, this is my, always use my, my probiotic. So I put it in there so I have me, Thanks for joining me today, class. Thanks for joining me. And also, I have my Too Good. So this is all about breakfast. I have my Too Good with 2 grams of sugar. So what I do, and this is my cottage cheese with pineapples. So what I do, I just take a little bit of this like this. This is my and I put a little bit in here. I'll also I think my 2 grams. What I do, I take it and mix a little bit in here. Mix a little bit in here. Fill my oatmeal up. So I take that and mix it in my cottage cheese. Oh, good. With pineapples. And then I mix that with this. And then so when I stir it up together like that, I taste it. Good. I'm glad for joining me today. And so what I do, I have my oatmeal. Also, oatmeal. I have my oatmeal. That's my hand back so it won't be when I'm cooking, but I have my oatmeal. See the steam? Nice and hot. So I have my oatmeal, and so what I do, so what I have is my my cottage cheese and my that ain't good like that. And yogurt. Oh, yogurt. Oh, it's yogurt mixed with. I never did it like this before, but yogurt mixed with cottage cheese. Mm-hmm. And then I have my oatmeal. And then I have my oatmeal. It's finished. With my oatmeal. Got cinnamon, cinnamon and sugar, but it's divine. Oatmeal with the cinnamon and the sugar, and it's too hot right now. And these are my eggs. They finished. So let me try these. Mmm. Oh, delicious. Eggs with scrambled egg with cheese. And remember oatmeal. Oh, that cheese is so good. And sir, I want to say thanks for joining me today. Cheers. Hmm. And so, what I said earlier and in my previous video, as I'm building an accounting information system. An accounting information system is very important. I need to bring in that vital information into my organization so I can perform my day-to-day operations. My employees can perform their day-to-day operations. My customers. Um, I need that vital information. That season real nice. I need that vital day-to-day. I need that vital information to perform my day-to-day operations. Um, Trends in the market. I need to keep up on trends in the market. What are the new technology devices? What are the new technology devices out there in the market? Uh, is my company up on the latest, the latest technology? So I can keep my customers happy. In other words, you have I was just looking at the news. I think was it today or yesterday? One of the days where I think it's Amazon. I know one of them companies. They want to start letting people pay for their whatever you purchase. Let us pay for our items, our products with our hand. We already pay with our phone. We pay with our credit card. We pay with our phone. We pay on the internet, on a computer. Now they want to allow us to pay with our hand. So I'm saying you have to keep up with technology. And that is being very innovative. Yeah. These eggs were good. So I'm gonna have a little bit more of this. That's my so now that's being very innovative. So in other words, you have an accounting information system. I have an accounting information system. Those are the things that I need to make sure. Research. You need to constantly, because all I did when I was working on my PhD and my master's and my bachelor's, all we did in our classes was research. I didn't finish my PhD, but I did receive 105 credits toward my PhD. My PhD was in organization and management. So I did my bachelor's and my master's. But my bachelor's is in business, so that's why I always talk a lot about business topics on my channel. So that accounting information system is very important. So in other words, whatever business you're working in, whatever industry you're working in, you need an information system. How you gonna bring that viable and vital information into your organization? Your employees need information. Your customers need information. Your customers might want to get information on your business. Uh, so that is very important. County information system. So, oh, these are so good. These are so good. I drink them like 2 a day. So okay, I think this is the last. It's the last topic class. I want to talk a little bit about. This is a modem. So a modem is a tool that can be used to connect computers over a telephone line, effectively extending the network beyond a local area. Ooh, excuse me. In other words, at the bottom it just shows, from your computer to your modem. You start out with your computer signal, your digital signal, your modem, and then you got your analog signal, which is your telephone, and then back to your modem, back to your computer. hmm So that is so. Ooh, let me taste my. So this is my yogurt mixed with my cottage cheese. hmm hmm That's good. Um, I never mixed it like that before. Let me put my butter in here because it's getting soft. Okay, in other words, and this is the last topic that I have. In other words, when I'm setting up my network or any company that's setting up their network, we have, like I said, you would have certain people that do, that's assigned to do certain jobs. So when we're setting up our network, or when we have our network person setting up the network, they might use repeaters. Repeaters regenerate the signal and extend the length of the network. Repeaters accept the signal, clean it, regenerates it, and sends it down the line, effectively doubling the length of the network. So in other words, the repeaters, when you run in the network, these are basically terms that can help your signal get across. In other words, you have all your employees working on the computers. And so if you have a repeater, repeaters are going to make sure that the signals are not, in other words, your signal's not messed up. In other words, you operate your computer, you're doing your work. So these repeaters regenerate the signal and extend the length of the network. So in other words, it makes things go off without a hitch. Because if you got eavesdropping, what you call, you have eavesdropping, you have hackers getting in. So repeaters and all these different devices like repeaters, routers, they also help extend the life of the network. So repeaters regenerates the signal, extend the length of the network. Repeaters accept the signal, clean it, and regenerate it. So it cleans it, generates it, and sends it right on. In other words, somebody trying to access information. In other words, they can get their information without a hitch. It can go off without a hitch. They have repeaters. Sometimes you have a network person, they may set up repeaters, routers. So that is what they are trained to do. So I'm not the network person, but I do know of these terms that I, studied when I was down Australia University. So then we have bridges. So bridges are like repeaters. Bridges also can be used to connect two networks. In other words, you're connecting two networks. You have one network might have 20 computers on it. Then you might have to have a bridge to connect the second network. See, bridges also can be used to connect two networks segments and can connect dissimilar physical media. Bridges can also limit the traffic on each segment and eliminate bottlenecks. A bridge's primary function is to filter traffic between network segments. So the bridge is mostly responsible for filtering traffic. In other words, keep traffic flowing, I guess. It filters traffic. So in other words, it's just like being on the street and you got a car accident, you got traffic all bottled up and, all mixed up. So in other words, these bridges, when it comes to networking, they keep your information flowing. You have 10, 15, 20 employees working on this computer, and then you have 10 or 15 over here, then you have a bridge. That bridge can make your information flow from one computer to the next. So that's the general premise of these bridges, routers, and they have routers, bridges. So that is the premise of these. And then see, we had the routers. Routers are more advanced. So when Comcast comes out, they had their technicians. They come out. They bring you a modem. They may bring. Well, actually, I think their modems, the routers and the routers, I believe, is all in one modem. So the routers are more advanced devices used to connect separate networks. In other words, they connected networks. That's what it's about, connecting networks to and from the internet. Yeah, to and from an internet connection. Multiple network segments like bridges filter traffic. But okay, the routers filter traffic too. See, it says multiple network segments like bridges. They filter traffic. Routers can form complex networks. In other words, routers and bridges, they filter traffic. In other words, keep the traffic flowing. You don't want to, then the company has to determine which device they want to use. Do they want to use a router, a browser, or a bridge? So like I said, the network person will be taking care of that. See, we had the browsers. So browsers, bridges, and routers. When browsers receive packets that are routine or routable, packets that are routable, they will operate as a router by choosing the best path for the packet and forwarding it to its destination. So in other words, it's all about transporting information from one computer to the next. We have our clients, 9 times out of 10 employees going to be working the client computers. So you have several client computers. Then you have a server computer at another location, maybe in another building. It could be in the same building. So routing that information from one computer to the next, or even from the client to the server. And the server might need to come back and get information from the client. Who knows? I think that was the last. Oh no, I have one more, and that's the gateway. Okay, we have gateways. Okay, gateways. Gateways, intricate piece of networking equipment that translates information between two different network architectures or data formats, usually found when connecting PCs to mainframes, mainframe computers, such as TCP, IP to SNA example. In other words, when they're connecting, that's why I said there's different devices for. In other words, they said gateways are mostly used when you're connecting a regular PC to a mainframe. So, and then when the network, the internet infrastructure technician, when they're setting up the network for my accounting information system or another company's accounting information systems, you have to think about security. Security is very important. So your network, when building your accounting information system, you still need security. You have to think about your firewalls, antivirus, anti-malware. So Trojans, spyware, phishing, and viruses won't be a part of your computer system. So in other words, malware will malfunction your computer. If you don't have the proper anti-malware, antivirus, firewalls, hackers can get in. Because I know I was looking at the news one day, and those ring technology devices. Ring technology devices. Those ring technology devices. Those ring technology devices. They had the little girl. She was in her room, and the hacker must have got in. See, I love these. I drink them so much. And So the hacker must have got in, and he said, told the little girl, talking about, you can do anything you want to do right now. And I'm like, you got to be careful, because see, somebody had hacked in to their to her parents their ring technology. So that's why I'm kind of skeptical about it. And even with the cameras that you have in your home, you have cameras set up in your home, inside, outside. Any technology device that you have set up, and you are opening yourself up to hackers, because any internet access that you have, in other words, you out there on the network, anybody can hack in. That's why they always say, change your password every so often. Change your password. Change your password. And this is my this is so good. I just mixed the yogurt and cottage cheese. I never mixed it before, but I said, let me try it. Yogurt and the cottage cheese. Well, I think that's all, class. I'm gonna say thanks for joining me today. And good. And only thing is, they don't put a lot of fruit in there. I guess that's a good thing, because a lot of fruit is probably sweet. But I want to say, class, thanks for joining me today. And I want to get prepared for my next class. I don't want to make this too long. I now ran over a whole hour. I just want to talk about how important it is to have an accounting information system, as well as it is to have, because my major was information systems down Straight University. So we didn't practice on how to exactly build one, but we learned about why you should build one, and we learned how to build it, why you should build it in the book. But we didn't exactly we didn't get any hands-on knowledge as far as actually building an information system, which I can also, venture out and do that myself. Since that was my major, I can always get an old computer, use that. That's an information technology. Now, information technology is when you use technology to gain your information or to gather your information. But an information system, whatever you choose to be your information system, it could be pen and paper. But to have information technology, that's basically using technology. So it's always good to keep up, even with my major, information systems. I should be keeping up with all the new trends, all the new technology trends, because that's what we had to do in our class. My teacher would say, for your homework, every day when you come in here, bring me a new technology trend. So, class, I'm going to end on that note. And I want to say thanks for joining me today. And I'm going to get down with some of this oatmeal that I made. See, it has cinnamon in it, sugar, a little vanilla. Cinnamon, sugar, a little vanilla, and a little, that's it. I didn't put no nutmeg, just cinnamon, a little vanilla, sugar. And I'm going to get down with that, and a little bit of that. Finish this off, and I want to say thanks for joining me today. And I'm going to see you on my next video. So I don't know what my lesson plan will be next time, but I want to talk more in my next video. And also, when you're doing your accounting books for information system, accounting information system. So in other words, I would have to have my debits and credits in order. How much money do I want to spend on this accounting information system? I have to put that in on my accounting. 9 times out of 10, it would go probably on it should go on the balance sheet, because I would consider building my accounting information system I would consider that an asset. So, but when I'm spending money on this accounting information system, um, did I have to take any money out of the company business, of the company bank account? So in other words, say for instance, I had to spend $2 million. I have a lot of buildings. I have information systems that I want to install in all my buildings. It cost me $5 million. So I had to take $5 million out of the bank account to build this accounting information system. So in other words, if I had to take $5 million, there would have to be a credit to cash $5 million and a debit to my owner's equity. So building this accounting information system, it's the information system. I'm gonna make it singular. Accounting information system. And building that, if I'm saying I'm gonna spend $5 million, but I would have to check with the company budget. What money do I have? Do we have coming in the business? What money do we have going out? Is it in our budget? Just like with the wiring, we want to do a wireless or wired or wireless. I can talk about this for a long time because you have to look in your budget. Now, we want to build this network, but do we have enough in our budget? Do we want to use fiber optic or what coaxial cable? Which cable is best suited for our wireless and our wired network? How much money do we have to spend? How much money do we have in the budget for our accounting information system that we want to build? The systems, I can make it plural. So, how much money do we have? So, like I said, $5 million. I want to take money out of my cash account. I want to credit my cash account $5 million, and I want to debit my owner's equity because it's coming out of my owner's equity, and also my withdrawals account. I would have to debit my withdrawals account $5 million for this accounting information system. So, all right, that's all I have for today, class. Like I said, I can talk about this for a while, but I don't want to make my video too long because I want to upload this to my YouTube channel. So you all have a good one, and I want to say cheers. Thanks for joining me. And I'm gonna get down on some of this oatmeal that I made, and I'll see you on my next video.